Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that you are one decision away from stepping into the life you've been praying for? What if I told you that everything you've been waiting for, the breakthrough, the opportunity, the favor, the open door, is right in front of you, but the only thing standing between you and it is the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to quit? How many people stop too soon? They give up right before the breakthrough happens. They walk away one moment before things shift in their favor. But listen to me. The resistance you feel right now is not a sign to stop. It is confirmation that you are closer than you think. The pressure you're experiencing is the evidence that something is about to change. You are not stuck. You are in transition. Before every major breakthrough, there is always a moment of extreme pressure. This is the point where many people feel like giving up, where the weight of their struggle seems unbearable, and where it feels like nothing is working despite their best efforts. But what they don't realize is that this very moment is the final test before the door opens. The darkest hour always comes before the dawn. Right before the breakthrough, there is always a battle in the mind, a battle against doubt, a battle against circumstances that seem impossible to overcome. This is not a coincidence. It is a principle of life. Breakthrough requires endurance. Many people pray for change. They ask for transformation. They seek elevation, but they fail to recognize that the process of getting there is not comfortable. It requires persistence in the face of adversity. The enemy always fights the hardest when he knows that victory is near. The pressure increases not because you are failing, but because you are about to cross over into something greater. Think about the story of a woman in labor. The most intense pain comes right before the birth. If she were to give up during that moment of pain, the baby would not be born. The breakthrough is there, but the pressure is the final test. The same applies to life. The reason your struggles have intensified, the reason it feels like everything is coming against you, is because you are in the final stretch. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The mistake many people make is that they interpret difficulty as a sign to stop. They assume that because things are hard, it means that it's not meant to be. But what if the very thing making you want to quit is the proof that you are right on the edge of your next level? What if the pain, the struggle, and the obstacles are not signs of defeat, but indicators that your breakthrough is within reach? The enemy's greatest strategy is to make you stop just short of the finish line, because he knows that if you push through just a little longer, everything will shift in your favor. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are in a season of transition. What looks like a delay is actually a setup. What feels like an ending is actually a beginning. The pressure is proof that the promise is near. This is why you cannot afford to quit now. You have come too far, fought too hard, and endured too much to turn back. You are one moment away, one decision away, one prayer away from stepping into the breakthrough that will change everything. Hold on. Stay the course. Keep believing, because the darkest hour is always just before the dawn. And when that dawn comes, everything you've been waiting for will be revealed. Breakthrough is not just about external circumstances changing. It is about an internal transformation that allows you to step into a new reality. Many people are waiting for a shift in their situation, but they don't realize that the greatest shift must first happen in their mindset. You cannot enter a new season with an old way of thinking. You cannot receive greater opportunities while carrying the weight of past failures. The biggest barriers to your breakthrough are not external, they are internal. Fear, doubt, and a limited mindset can block you from seeing and seizing what God has already placed in front of you. Too often, people pray for change, but remain trapped in cycles of self-doubt, negative thinking, and hesitation. They want the next level, but they continue thinking like someone who is stuck. They desire promotion, but they still see themselves as unworthy or incapable. They expect new doors to open, but their mindset keeps them standing outside instead of walking in with confidence. The reality is that God can open doors for you, but if you still not believe you belong in the room, you will never step inside. Look at the Israelites when they were on the edge of the promised land. God had already given them the victory, yet they hesitated. Why? Because their minds were still in Egypt. They were physically free, but mentally enslaved. They saw themselves as grasshoppers, too small and too weak to possess the land. The only thing standing between them and their breakthrough was not the enemy, it was their mindset. They allowed fear to convince them that what God had promised was out of reach. As a result, they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, delaying their breakthrough because they refused to shift their thinking. Many people today do the same. They remain in the wilderness, stuck in cycles of stagnation because they refuse to let go of old mindsets. They let fear talk them out of stepping forward. They allow past failures to define them. They carry the weight of disappointment and rejection, believing that what happened before will happen again. But breakthrough comes when you renew your mind, when you start seeing yourself the way God sees you, and when you start walking in faith instead of fear. Your mindset determines your reality. If you believe you are unworthy of success, you will sabotage your own opportunities. If you believe you are stuck, you will never look for a way forward. If you believe that nothing good can happen for you, you will miss the blessings that are already around you. Breakthrough happens when you stop allowing the past to control your future. The moment you shift your mindset, you will begin to see things change. Fear will no longer hold you back. Doubt will no longer paralyze you. Instead of seeing obstacles, you will start seeing opportunities. Instead of shrinking back, you will step forward with boldness. Your breakthrough is waiting for you, but first you must shift your mind to receive it. Your breakthrough is not just about you. When God elevates you, blesses you, or opens a new door, it is never just for your benefit. It is so that you can be a blessing to others. The moment you begin to understand that your breakthrough carries a greater purpose, you will start to fight for it differently. You will stop seeing it as a personal achievement and start seeing it as a responsibility, a divine assignment that will impact more than just your life. Many people think too small when it comes to their breakthrough. They pray for success, favor, or open doors, but they don't realize that what they are asking for is connected to the destiny of others. Your breakthrough is meant to inspire, uplift, and provide opportunities for those around you. The enemy knows this, which is why he fights so hard to keep you from stepping into your next level. Because if you remain stuck, those who are depending on you will remain stuck too. Think about Joseph. When he went from the prison to the palace, it wasn't just about him. His breakthrough was connected to an entire nation. His elevation to power meant that he could save countless lives during the famine. Imagine if he had given up in the pit or in the prison. Imagine if he had let the hardships of his journey convince him that his dream was impossible. If he had stopped believing in what God had shown him, an entire generation would have suffered. The same is true for you. Your breakthrough is about more than just your comfort, more than just your personal success. It is about the people God has assigned to you. There are people waiting for you to step into your purpose. There are families that will be impacted because of your decision to keep going. There are lives that will be transformed because you refuse to quit. This is why you cannot afford to give up. When you feel tired, when you feel discouraged, when you feel like nothing is changing, remember this: you are carrying more than just yourself. Your breakthrough will open doors for others. Your perseverance will inspire someone who is ready to give up. Your success will be proof to someone else that God is faithful. The enemy doesn't just want to stop you. He wants to stop the people connected to you. He knows that if he can keep you from stepping into your breakthrough, he can keep others from reaching theirs. That is why the attacks feel so intense, why the obstacles seem never ending. But you must remind yourself, this fight is not just about you. So what will you do? Will you let fear hold you back? Will you let doubt keep you from moving forward? Or will you recognize that your breakthrough has a greater purpose and keep pushing forward? The choice is yours, but know this: when you break through, it won't just change your life. It will change the lives of everyone connected to you. Faith is the key that unlocks your breakthrough. Many people stand at the edge of their next level, waiting for all the pieces to fall into place before they move. They want clarity before they take action. They want guarantees before they step forward. And they want to see the full picture before they trust. But that is not how faith works. Faith is stepping out even when you don't have all the answers. Faith is moving forward when everything in your logical mind tells you to stay where you are. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where God is taking you. Too often people miss their breakthrough because they are waiting for certainty. They pray for open doors, but when the opportunity comes, they hesitate because they are afraid of the unknown. They let fear convince them that they are not ready, that they don't have enough resources, or that they might fail. But the truth is, you will never feel fully ready for the next level. There will always be some uncertainty, but that is exactly why faith is required. Faith is trusting that if God brought you to this moment, He will also provide everything you need to walk through it. Look at Peter when he walked on water. The miracle did not happen while he was inside the boat. It only happened when he stepped out. If he had waited for the storm to calm down first, he would have never experienced what was possible. Your breakthrough will not come while you wait for perfect conditions. It will come when you step out despite the conditions. God does not need ideal circumstances to bless you. He just needs you to have faith enough to move. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history happened because someone had the faith to act when it made no sense. Abraham left his home to follow God's promise without knowing where he was going. Moses stretched out his rod before the Red Sea parted. The walls of Jericho fell after the Israelites marched around them in obedience. The pattern is clear. Faith activates the next level. What is God asking you to do? Where is He calling you to step out in faith? What doors has He placed in front of you that you are hesitating to walk through? Do not allow fear to keep you where you are. Do not let doubt make you miss what God has already prepared for you. Your breakthrough is waiting, but you must take the first step. Right now, you may feel like you need more confirmation, more reassurance, more proof before you move forward, but faith is moving before you see the full picture. No. Faith is believing that if God gave you the vision, He will also give you the provision. The moment you step out, things will begin to shift. Doors will open, resources will come, opportunities will appear, but none of that happens until you activate your faith. Your breakthrough is waiting. Take the step. Your obedience is the final test before your breakthrough. Many people pray for a shift, for new opportunities, for a fresh season in their lives. But when God gives them an instruction, they hesitate, they delay, they question. They want to negotiate with God rather than obey Him fully. What they don't realize is that breakthrough is always on the other side of obedience. When God calls you to do something, it is not a suggestion. It is a divine key that unlocks your next level. Yet, look at the story of Naaman, the commander who had leprosy. He wanted healing. But when the prophet Elisha told him to dip in the Jordan River 7 times, he almost refused. He expected something dramatic, something more impressive, but God's instructions seemed too simple, too ordinary. Had he refused to obey, he would have missed his miracle. His healing did not come because of his status or his desire. It came the moment he obeyed fully. The same applies to you. God may be calling you to make a move, to start something new, to step away from a toxic situation, to let go of a habit that is holding you back. But if you delay, if you hesitate, if you keep reasoning your way out of obedience, you will remain stuck where you are. Partial obedience is still disobedience. The breakthrough is waiting, but the question is, will you obey? Many people feel like they are in a cycle, stuck in the same struggles year after year. They wonder why things are not changing, why the breakthrough seems so far away. But often the delay is not because God is withholding the blessing. It is because they have not yet obeyed the last instruction He gave them. Before you ask God for the next step, ask yourself, have I done what He already told me to do? When Jesus healed the blind man, He put mud on his eyes and told him to go wash in the pool of Siloam. The man could have ignored the instruction. He could have sat there waiting for Jesus to heal him in a different way, but his healing did not happen until he obeyed. Imagine if he had let doubt stop him. Imagine if he had been too embarrassed to walk blindly to the water. He would have missed his miracle. Breakthrough is not about striving harder. It is about surrendering to divine direction. When God tells you to move, move, move. When He tells you to step out, step out. When He calls you to trust, trust. Delayed obedience can cost you more than you realize. Right now, there's something God is pressing on your heart. You know what it is. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it challenges everything you thought you knew. But this is your test. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is tied to your willingness to obey. Do not let fear, doubt, or pride hold you back. Your miracle is waiting on the other side of obedience. Will you take the step? Delay does not mean denial. Many people mistake waiting for rejection. They assume that because their breakthrough hasn't come yet, it must not be meant for them. They look at the time that has passed, the prayers that seem unanswered, the opportunities that have not yet opened, and they begin to lose hope. But what they fail to realize is that God's timing is always perfect. Just because it hasn't happened yet does not mean it won't happen. The delay is not a cancellation of the promise. It is preparation for the promise. When you plant a seed, you do not see immediate results. Days, weeks, or even months may go by before anything appears above the ground. But beneath the surface, something is happening. Roots are forming, strength is developing, and the foundation is being laid for something that will last. If the seed were to sprout too soon, it would not be strong enough to withstand the elements. The same principle applies to your breakthrough. If God gave it to you before you were ready, you might not be able to sustain it. He is not just interested in giving you a blessing, He wants you to be able to carry it well. Look at the story of Joseph. He had a dream at a young age, a vision of leadership and influence, but his journey was filled with betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. For years, it seemed as if his life was going in the opposite direction of the promise. But what Joseph didn't see was that every delay was preparing him. Every challenge was shaping him. By the time he reached his breakthrough, becoming the second in command of Egypt, he was not just a dreamer, he was a leader. If he had received the promotion too early, he would not have been ready. The same is true for you. The waiting season is not wasted time. It is not a punishment. It is a process of refining, equipping, and strengthening you for what is coming. The delay is a sign that God is working on something greater than you can see. When the breakthrough finally comes, it will happen in such a way that you will realize why the wait was necessary. During the delay, your responsibility is to remain faithful. Keep praying, keep preparing, keep believing. Do not let impatience cause you to settle for something less than what God has for you. Many people give up too soon, thinking that because it hasn't happened yet, it never will. But what if your breakthrough is just one moment away? What if the thing you've been waiting for is already in motion, but God is waiting for the perfect time to reveal it? The delay is not denial. It is protection. It is preparation. It is positioning you for something bigger than you imagined. Trust the process, trust the timing, and trust that when your breakthrough comes, it will be right on time.